By the time Maria came around, it was talked about as this baby storm. And seeing what happened with Irma, that what we saw here was that she just dropped like this rug of pretty green leaves on the downstairs driveway. I can't say that I was concerned at all with Maria. And then so here it is. It's the day before. And you start to see the projections that are going to literally cross the island. And you start to realize that there is no getting out of this. The hurricane itself was nothing that I could have ever imagined. The next morning is everything here is just pelao and broken. It was a far cry from Irma's carpet of pretty green leaves. I remember telling my boys, we're going to watch her every week because every week we're going to see more green, more leaves, and like her, we too will heal and come back from this. La lluvia cae, el río nos guía. 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 Ahora que el sol regresa, resiliencia, eleva nuestro resplandor. Resiliencia, has decidido que nunca. Resiliencia, a ser iluminada. My name is Yasmin Hernandez, Yasmin, as Puerto Ricans would say. I am an artist, a human being, a person who right now is just doing everything possible to explore every aspect of love and liberation. And we are here in Moca, Puerto Rico, which is where the universe brought me because I'm from Brooklyn. But I had never been here before moving here, but this is where I was brought. So we arrived in Puerto Rico from New York City in 2014, in May of 2014, and we moved into this house in October. Everything has been spiritual, the change. Radical changes in my awareness, my consciousness. There were things that I could just never understand about this place without living here. For us, my son didn't sleep from about 12 midnight till 6 in the morning because of the winds and how loud they were. And then Irma left, and we just heard of all the destruction in the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico sets itself up as like the place that's going to help our neighbors. So Puerto Rico accepts all these refugees coming in from the neighboring islands. A lot of them are at the hospital in Caguas. People take all the stuff that they didn't use for Irma, like the cans and the gallons of water, drop them off over there. And by the time Maria comes around, a lot of these things are difficult to come by. It was maybe a day or two before when they started to talk about this hurricane becoming a Category 5. And you're just like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, board a plane and leave? You can't. You're in the middle of this dangerous, risky situation, and you have no choice other than to face it and go through it. That has been the complete theme of my time, my almost 4 years in Puerto Rico. I felt the need to go into the bathroom with my boys, the upstairs bathroom, because it's the only place up here that doesn't have windows or doors facing the exterior. And we lasted about 10 minutes before my husband came to get us out because the window right next to this bathroom had blown out. We had to go down the stairs, but this window, all of this water was coming in from this window, so the stairs were literally like a waterfall. We crossed the hall to my studio, and as soon as we sit down there to wait it out, we didn't realize what was happening. We had no radio. Suddenly it stops, and Ivan goes outside, and he's like, okay, this has to be the eye. He opens the hallway, very dark downstairs, opens the door to the hallway, and it's bright. So we were like, okay, it's the eye, but why is it bright? Where is this light coming in from? And that was through the blown door. When I step out into the hallway, everything is flooded. And floating, I have to laugh about this now, is my list, hurricane prepared list for Hurricane Irma. Before I brought them upstairs, I coached them. Your home, this land, is not going to be what you're used to seeing. It's going to be different. It's going to be devastating, like prepping them. We went outside, and our portón, which is this iron gate, it was on the ground, and there was an enormous branch on top of it. It was this overwhelming sense that life as we knew it was over. But within a half hour of waking up to this, 2 men came down the road, one with a chainsaw and one with a machete. They didn't say anything. They just came with these determined, fierce ass looks on their faces. And they stopped in front of our house, and they took that tree branch, and within 5 minutes with the chainsaw and the machete, they just left mulch. And in a few minutes after they leave, my neighbor next door shows up with 35 extensions and a little, light bulb connected to an extension because they were going to power us to her generator. The devastation that was caused by the storm is actually revealing these phenomenal examples of dignity and resilience and liberation in people that didn't believe themselves capable of doing the things that they've managed to do, of surviving the shit that they have survived, of thriving. And what has crystallized in the aftermath of these storms is that we are being called, all of us individually, to rise to this place where we stop relying on others, because it's not just the colonial relationship of Puerto Rico to the United States, but it's also, if I rely on this service to get my water and on this service to get power, there is still a dependency there. When we are just following the motions and taking orders and following orders day to day, we don't have an opportunity to exercise our imagination, our creativity, our innovation. We are able to do that when we are put in a place where our tools are taken or our resources are taken. At least we're told that. And there, with nothing, is where we discover all of the innate tools, wisdom, resources, light that we've always had, but never had the opportunity to see, to claim, to own, and to share and reveal. But the question is, how do we then move into this process of investigating what sustainability would look like? How do we awaken in young people this ancestral passion for planting and growing our own food? What we need is a decolonial struggle, but we cannot have decolonization where people are still colonized. We need people to liberate themselves holistically. Every minute of your life, you have the power. Not only do you have the power, but things here are organized in such a way to rob you of your liberation daily. So you have to practice this. It is an action. I think as human beings, we have for generations, especially as people of color, as conquered people, we have for generations had to figure out how to survive and thrive in darkness. And so what this thing is, for me, is not necessarily a catastrophe or a tragedy. It's an opportunity to have this island of oppressed people colonized people step out in their light.